how did you first get approached for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Wow, this is an interesting story. It really is, David.
I mean,
Um,
I should know the answer, but I really don't.
I don't think anybody really has heard it. I think maybe I've mentioned it once. Anyway, I got a call that from a producer who, fascinatingly enough, had lived in Belgium in the 90s and was a fan of Santa Barbara. She remembered me from Santa Barbara, and she Googled me and saw that I was married with a child and stepchildren, and said, I wonder if she would be interested in being a housewife. Because it was right around that time they were wondering if maybe we were interested in actors. And then I got the call, and then it was like, do you know any of these people? I'm like, well, I just worked with Kyle on Days. She had just done a guest spot for a few episodes. I know Yolanda because our kids are at school together. Gigi was in the same class as my stepson. So Gigi had been at our house before. Lisa Renna, clearly, she and I go way back. So that's how it's all because of Santa Barbara. How random.
That is totally random.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, of all the soaps you were
Right?
in,
I know.
wow. Well, I never would have guessed that. She just was a fan of
Life
Santa
is
Barbara.
weird. Life is weird.
Life is weird. So did you say, this sounds great, let's have a talk? Like, how did it progress? Like, did you have reservations?
Oh, sure. It was pretty terrifying. They actually had Vinny and I go in and do it on an in-person tape. And, we have a really great repartee. And so I guess they liked that. But, of course, I had lunch with all the showrunners, the executive producers, and talked about our fears and blah, blah, blah. But, honestly, my sister had just died, and also a niece. And I was kind of at this place where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be afraid to do this. I'm just going to jump in and do something different, and just, life is short. Seriously, that's kind of what the impetus was. Life is short. And everybody in the family was on board at that point. That did change. But everybody in the family was on board. So I was like, okay, we're going to do this. And if at any point in time you're not comfortable, you don't have to, and we'll discuss it then. So that's kind of how that genesis started.
What did your soap family have any opinions about you joining this reality show?
Did not think it was a good idea at all. If you think there's a stigma attached to daytime drama, there's a bigger one attached to reality TV. At
And
least that.
I don't think there's a stigma attached to daytime. I think daytime is the best thing in the world.
I know. Well, there is. No, there is. It's not about you thinking that. There is. I mean, there just is. There's stigmas about everything. Who cares? There used to be a stigma about TV. I mean, shut up. Just go live your life. Anyway, so yeah. And, that was kind of an interesting thing. I'm like, wow, the people that are stigmatized are now stigmatizing me for doing another show that they think is stigmatized. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
That is funny. So they were like, what are you doing? Why are you going down this road?
How could you? What reality TV is killing, regular TV. I got that, I'm like, really? There's so many channels out there. You're going to blame reality TV for the ratings going down. I thought it was OJ's fault. Then what was it? Oh yeah. So that, and then I got, what about your reputation and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. And if I don't like it after a year, then I'll jump.